Hey dudes, welcome back to another episode of our Rhomas Men's Team podcast. You are about to listen to one of our prior team meetings. If you ever want to join one of our live sessions that we have every Monday and Friday, head over to rhomas.com. That's RHOMAS.com and put your email in and we will send you a live link every time we record. We generally record on Mondays and Fridays. So if you ever want to be on the actual podcast, like we bring men up all the time to talk about their goals, talk about their obstacles, etc., head over to rhomas.com. And then also, if you want to help support the channel grow and also have access to exclusive content, book reviews, extra whiteboard sessions, etc., and some coaching sessions, head over to patreon.com and support us. We would love it. But if not, no biggie. We'll see you on the live sessions. Later, dudes. Enjoy this podcast.
What up, everybody? We're here, we're live, and this will be a quick one because the school bell's about to ring on Wes. What's up, bro?
Oh, I'm getting feedback here. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, man. Yeah, I've got my test coming up 1:45 p.m. today. We'll see, man. I think it is an element of I'm trying to take my own medicine. You know, of just sprinting through a project and saying, okay, well, you know, this thing is getting in the way of making more money. So why don't I try to get it done as quickly as possible? And then owning it if I fail. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. And a little anxious about it, not gonna lie. So we'll see how it goes, man.
Hell yeah, man. That's what's up.
I appreciate the support for the guys in the comments. Thanks, Troy. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, all you guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, is it like I can imagine it's like, how big was the book you had to study?
It's so stupid. It's just so like any finance test. Like literally, my last finance test, they mailed me a book that was 850 pages, and it's just like, you know, like it's so ridiculous because what happens is regulating bodies are the ones who create the tests. So they just think like, oh, they'll just throw everything at these people. And it's absurd. So that you have to study a ridiculous amount of hours. And then not only that, you've got to like go through all that. Then you got to take practice test after practice test after practice test. But like once you know, I don't want to make it seem like it's impossible. It's just annoyingly difficult. That's the best way I can describe it.
Heard that. Yeah. I took the real estate, like the realtor test, like years ago when I was 18. I remember like it's one of those things you take, it's over, and you just literally forget all of it. You're like, oh, how big, how many square feet's an acre? It's like 43,000, I think. That's the only thing I remember from the entire test.
Yeah. It's like, so silly, man. It's what happens when you get people who make tests who either don't do it or have never done it. Like it's ridiculous. So you spend all of this time going through this gateway to entry, and it doesn't really serve your profession at all, nor the people that you're going to have as clients. It's insane. But honestly, it's a gift and a curse. The curse is that you have to actually do it. The gift is most people are not willing to do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not complaining by any means. I'm going to do it, and it'll make me that much more specialized in the craft.
Hell yeah, dude. So big day today, dude. Coming off of the old Super Bowl XVYY whatever. The weight loss the real Super Bowl is coming up, dude. The weight loss competition.
Yep, the people have spoken. They wanted to wait until after the Super Bowl, and now we're in it. We are in it today. If anybody has not signed up for it, who wants to do it? Like I just got Gunther in as well. Gunther, if you wouldn't mind sending me your email as well, DMing me on the Discord or whatever you're comfortable with. There's a few other guys who wanted to do it, who I don't have their emails, but I'll message them directly. So I'm super pumped for it. And what we're going to do is we're going to have two teams. So I just want to see everybody who's on the list and what your weights have been. So if you can email me those weights, and then we will split up the teams accordingly. And then Matt, I don't know, are you comfortable with being captain of the opposite team, or do you want to send somebody else? Yes.
Whatever. No matter.
Yes. It's going to be Braveheart style. Your team versus my team. Cool.
It'll be fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, people want to have a draft now.
Yep, live draft. Hell yeah.
Like, damn,
so I'm looking forward to it.
Matt, what is your strategy? Can we just riff on this on the weight loss competition?
Dude,
So what is your strategy?
The meal plan, man. If I for some reason, if I just write out like, here's what I'm going to eat. I did it the 1 week and I lost I think 2 or 3 pounds. And then the other week I kind of I freestyled a little bit and, I gained 2 pounds back. So it's like, if I stick to the meal, now I know if I stick to this meal plan I made, it's not like anything crazy. It's just like, I just eat, like rice or potatoes, some sort of protein, and then the most on my plate is the same thing you do. The most of my plate is just mainly veggies. So it's like, it's like more veggies, a little bit of starch, and a little bit of protein. And that's,
Yeah. I think so. Is it okay if I give the guys some strategies on this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Super simple. Let's keep it very, very, very simple. You can pick, in my opinion, one of a few strategies. The first way you can pick it is, which is, I would say, probably the most guaranteed. However, it is the most tedious, which is you count every single calorie via a calorie counting app like MyFitnessPal, and that's how you track it. I do recommend going that route if you want to really learn about your body. However, because it is so tedious, it makes it very unenjoyable, and you are that much more likely to not do it or to try it. And then eventually, after the weight loss competition is done, you're done, right? Like you revert back the other way. I have done this many times for bodybuilding competing. That's what you have to do. Like it requires that level of specificity. However, I think it's a terrible way to go for most people. The second option is you do what Matt is talking about and what we've talked about before. Do the density diet, which is, again, density diet. You look at food in terms of its density. Now, if you look at fruits and vegetables, they are the most micronutrient dense foods you could eat. So like delivering your vitamins, minerals, etc. My recommendation would be that you construct a bowl like Matt and I have talked about before. Baseline level is some sort of cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, etc. That's and I do it with broccoli and cauliflower rice, which I love. Matt, have you ever tried that broccoli or cauliflower rice?
I've had cauliflower rice a couple times. It's not bad,
dude. It's such a filler. So you fill up, like, let's say you get a big bowl, a huge bowl, fill up the baseline level with that, and then you do greens, and then you can do legumes and beans, etc. And then on the top of it, you sprinkle a little protein in there. Whether it be if you're plant based, you can do tofu, or some sort of other more dense protein food in the plant kingdom, or you can do chicken, etc. if you eat meat. If you stick there and you look at each opportunity of each meal as a win or a loss, that's where I would focus. Is the meal that I'm eating right now, is it a win or a loss? It doesn't have to be focused on an entire week or even an entire day. Just change one meal at a time. And if you're feeding your body with those micronutrient dense foods and fiber rich foods and water rich foods, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. Like you will lose weight faster than you ever could have thought of. I promise you. I know it sounds like hype, but I promise you, if you do that. Now, little caveat, do not pour a bunch of sauce or heavy cream sauce, like ranch dressing, etc., over those vegetables. That is a terrible decision, because all of a sudden you took something that has a lot of volume and very little calories, and you put very dense calories on there. Even olive oil. Troy right now is saying olive oil. Even olive oil. I think it's 1 tablespoon of olive oil, I believe, is 100 calories. 1 tablespoon. So if you drizzle like olive oil over your salad or over your vegetables, all of a sudden you may have put, I don't know, 8 tablespoons on there. That's 800 calories. It's insane. Yeah.
Damn.
So stick to natural. Yeah, it's crazy. That's why if you get a salad at McDonald's and you put the dressing on it, it's like 1,200 calories.
Yep.
You remove that dressing, it's like 300 calories. It's insane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, too. If you're going to do that, at least just measure it so you have an idea. Like, I didn't realize peanut butter. Oh, my God, dude. I would do, like, every square inch of the, like, rice cake had to be not just covered, but, like, I needed, like, depth on there, too. Mm-hmm. So, like, and I started, like, doing the math on how many tablespoons I was using. I'm like, it's, like, 8. Mm-hmm. I'd eat, like, a couple rice cakes. Pretty nuts.
It's insane, man.
No, it's crazy. And if you really, for me, it's really eye-opening. If I stick to some sort of structure, I start to notice how much I want to deviate from it. And then when I don't, it's like that adds up over time. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Like, like last week I lost like 3 pounds. And it was like, and I've still been eating really well. But it's like the difference between me waking up and be like, I'll have some eggs and, maybe a little bit of this versus like for 3 meals, or for 1 meal, I have my green drink. The other 2 meals are just like you were talking about, those density bowls. That's all I eat. And, and it's like, if I need a snack, I'll eat like some hummus on, on like a little tortilla wrap or something, like not chips, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, you'll learn about your body. So maybe eventually it's like, oh, I can put some olive oil on there and so on. But I'm trying to help the guys who have no clue on what to do, and they've tried other things in the past and are not working. I'm telling you, the method that I just told you will 100% work. 100%. And at the same time, you will be able to eat more food than you ever eaten before in terms of volume. Like if you're sticking to fruits and vegetables, it's insane the amount of food that you can eat. But once you start getting cute and you start adding sauces and oils and all this stuff, all of a sudden you might think you're actually doing like a version of what we're calling the density diet when you're actually not. Like I would say test out the raw version first and then iterate from there.
That makes sense. Yeah, like I said, it's not a demonization. I saw the one thing, and I kind of agree with what Troy's saying. It's like not really a demonization of fats. It's like just get them from the raw source. Eat the nuts. Eat an avocado. Exactly. Don't eat avocado oil because that's like it's processed. It's not 100%. Like the bar has been set pretty high for processed foods being like SpaghettiOs, but it is still. That's something I have to remind myself is I love olive oil, dude. I can honestly I can drink it.
Oh, nice.
I mean, not like I could take a shot of olive oil and it'd be like nice.
Well, here's the thing: you can definitely do it. You can totally do it. But if somebody who doesn't know, like hasn't heard this conversation, they might all of a sudden be eating vegetables and they're like just drowning their shit in some sort of olive oil or some sort of dressing, and they think it's like, oh well, I'm doing the healthy thing, but I'm not losing any weight. It's like no. Well, it's because the food companies don't necessarily teach you that like what you just did. Because they mess with the serving sizes. Like they'll say, oh, it's 100 calories for the serving size. But the serving size is like this. It's like you never put a teaspoon of dressing on your salad. It ends up being like 7 to 10 tablespoons. And all of a sudden you're 800 calories deep in your dressing.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the bowl of cereal thing. Like one serving. If you look at a box of cereal, it's like one serving size. And you're like, dude, I'd be so pissed off if somebody poured that for me as a bowl. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly.
But
I think as men, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I think as men, we can support each other. Let's do it on the Discord under the fitness hashtag. So anybody, if you can send me your weights today via email. If you have not sent me your email and you said you do want to participate, please send me your email. Matt, I've already got yours. ASB, I've got yours. I've got a whole bunch of people. Actually, I'm going to bring it up so that way we can actually see who has sent their stuff. Let's see. So ASB, I've got you down, bud. Matt, I have you, and I've got John Weber. Jordan, I've got you and your email. Ray, I have you. Andrew Lincoln, I've got yours. Fran, I've got yours as well. Troy, I've got yours. And then we have this other guy, Gino, who's not on this podcast right now. And then I've got Drift for Days is the username. I have you down for the competition, but I do not have your email. I apologize if you have sent it to me, but if you can, please resend it to me if I haven't received it. And I've got Clee as well, but Clee, I also do not have your email. So if you wouldn't mind sending me your email, and then Gunther, if you wouldn't mind sending me your email as well, bud. So those are the guys we have right now. We've got 13 people if we're counting Gunther. If anybody else wants in, please let me know. Jake, I'm not sure if you want to be in it, bud, or Drew, if you want to be in it as well. So
yeah, worst comes to worst, I'll just be a one. If it is an odd thing, I'll be a one-man team and just compete against everybody.
Well, Jayologist is saying I do. Jay, are you saying that you want to be in, or are you saying it's something else? So if you do want to be in, let me know.
Hell yeah.
Okay, right. Jayologist wants in. So Jayologist, send me your email as well if that's cool, and then Gunther, if your brother wants to be in, let me know too. We can definitely do that. Yeah, Jayologist, you can send me your email in the Discord.
Clee's in. Okay, we got nice. This will be fun.
Okay, Jake's in. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So if anybody wants in, let me know. Send me your email, and then I'll send you out instructions today. Take your first weight. Actually, let's do our first weight tomorrow morning. That will be fair. Yeah. First weigh in tomorrow morning and send your before pics as well. We'll do it all through the Discord on the hashtag fitness section of the Discord.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited. This is fun. I honestly love any kind of little group challenge is just such a nice thing for me. I just really, really enjoy them and fun, especially when you know the people. I've done the apps where it has like a social component, quote unquote, but you don't know anybody on there. And it's like that for me is like, but if I like know somebody, it's like, it's so much more fun.
Yeah, man. And Tiger Boy, I'll be doing it again next month. So don't worry about it, dude. The secret is team. Like, I think that's the secret. Close-knit team is the secret, in my opinion, to progress. So if you don't mind me doing this, Ray, I'm going to call you out. Ray, if you can hear me right now, what has been your success rate, Ray, on your scorecard on Saturdays? If you can reply to that in the comment section, I'd be curious to see if you had to give a percentage. What is yep, there you go. He said 0. So Ray, what has been your success rate on the scorecard team Monday through Friday over the last 6 weeks? 90%. Right? So Ray just said 90%. So he's 90% successful on the scorecard when he does it with our team. He's 0% successful when he's on his own on Saturdays. And that's insane, right? And by the way, it's the same thing for me. It's the same thing for any human. If we do things on a team that's actually deliberate and intentional about accomplishing a result, we are infinitely more successful than doing it on our own. And yeah, Ray's right. All we have to do is show up. Like, so when we do this weight loss competition, I guarantee all of us will be way more successful than we are on our own.
Hell yeah, dude. Someone just told me that my goal of looking like an emaciated runner in their 50s will happen. I was saying before, I want to really look. You see those guys that run and they're just like,
oh, yeah.
You're like, Jesus Christ, dude, fucking take a seat. Like, you're done. You've run enough. You're fucking jerky now. That's what I was trying to get to. Also, to answer Ray's question from way back was like, what are the other benefits to losing weight and leaning out other than kind of like aesthetics and like, just right. And dude, it's like, and I know Wes probably has an
everything.
Well, just a quick one for me is like, dude, back pain, man. My back pain, any kind of weird aches and pains that I get, specifically in my lower back, where usually I get upper back stuff. But even that, it starts to go away. It's like my body, you start to learn like your body's only designed to hold so much, man. It's like, when DNA kind of helped construct like your bone structure, it wasn't really planning for like Doritos and stuff. So it's like, all of a sudden my bones are like, what the fuck is all this? Where'd you get all these calories, dude? So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm sure you can also help like increase your bone density, but it's like, if I start to go over 180, I get back problems every single time. When I start to hit 190, I have back pain. Then you get into like the sleep apnea shit where you can, I think that's, that attributes if you're kind of overweight. There's like the fat starts to, this is the big one. The fat starts to like squeeze your organs and kind of like, you only have so much space, so it's like, then the fat starts to just push shit around that shouldn't be getting moved. There's a ton.
Dude, it's insane. It's one of the least talked about things with COVID, I feel like, as well. Like, I've heard in sort of bits and pieces that obesity is the number one comorbidity factor for COVID. I don't know how true that is, but I've now heard it from several different sources. But dude, obesity, it's basically impacts so much that it's not very much talked about. The benefits are basically everything. Like everything. I would actually argue the aesthetic benefits are probably one of the least beneficial things of losing weight, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, dude, the 23andMe does like a COVID mortality kind of calculator based on like your factors. And me and Brittany were messing around with it, like plugging in different variables. When your weight goes up, it just the percentage of you dying, increases as well.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah. And it's like, then there's type 2 diabetes, all that other stuff. And it's like, it is one of those things where it's like, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And it's also highly preventable. That's the, and it's not like, I really like approaching fitness almost from and it's just like what kind of motivates me the most. Like, obviously, like when I lose weight, I fucking love it. And I like want to take my shirt off all the time. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'm going to take the trash out. But it's like, there's also, I think about like, it's like, I really also, the thing that actually motivates me to do it is like my inner stuff inside of me and how like, how it's just good for me and how like it helps me be like internally healthy rather than kind of just like, looking ripped. So it's like, dude, the food stuff, the nutrients, and kind of like weight loss is like, it gets, I think, I don't know, I'm not going to say it gets a bad rap because I don't think it does, but it's like, it gets shystered up a lot where it's like, all the weird pills and all the weird this. And like, there used to be people who would stand in the back, like when we would go to church when we were, when I was little, and they had like these pins on their shirt that said "lose weight now, ask me how." And there's, you get those kind of characters floating around. I never asked, but it's like, so it's one of those things where it people almost, it's crazy, man. I see things all the time with like, it's like, it's people like, this is my weight loss journey. It's this is a whole lifestyle change. And it's like, yeah, it is, but it's like, why? It's crazy. We're so far removed from now. It's like this epic quest to like, just not eat a ton of like fucked up, horrible stuff. That depressed me last night. I didn't see the Super Bowl. I saw a couple commercials, and I saw the Matthew McConaughey Doritos commercial, and I just went,
yep.
I went, come on, man. I just watched 2 podcasts, thought about reading your goddamn book, and you're talking Doritos, dude. 3D Doritos. That killed me, man. Seeing that just absolutely killed me. Of like, you see these celebrities go to like the pinnacle of like whatever they're doing to then hawk like some weird flour fried in oil that's literally poisonous. When you heat vegetable oil up to a high degree, it becomes something that's carcinogenic. So it's like, come on, man. I saw that yesterday, and it's funny too because my niece was like, she thought it was hilarious, so she kept replaying the commercial. So I just sat there and watched that commercial 5 times. It was just like, Jesus, dude, hawking Doritos, everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Just like, no.
Yeah, exactly. I think what happens is the classic, like just creating enough confusion to keep people in purgatory and to kind of like give them enough incentive to do what they kind of already want to do. It's like, oh, well, Matthew McConaughey eats Doritos and, it's fine, right? That sort of thing. But then also, honestly, man, for people who have that little chatter in their mind right now of oh, I'm not going to eat vegetables because I want to go on the carnivore diet. Like, I'm not hating on any particular diet, but it's like, for this competition, can we please just use more common sense thinking? Where like, if you had to take a bet, like, do you think vegetables and fruits are bad to put in your body? And if you do think that, I'd strongly recommend you reconsider your perspective. So Doritos are not going to do it for you. My personal belief is that if you eat all meat, that's not going to do it for you either. So like those types of things, it's like, let's put our common sense hats on and just delay your disbeliefs about fruits and vegetables and just try it. I mean, you can try whatever methodology you want, but I can tell you that for me, that's what I'm going to be doing. And you will see how much weight I will lose in this competition.
Yeah, man. Like you said, there are different body types. And I know people who like really do thrive off. I wanted to be someone who thrived off of just meat and fat. I was like, yeah, I think that's it. And like, I would do it and I would just be like, oh. But it's like, for me, I know when I cut down meat, if I completely take meat away, it starts to kind of like, I feel a little weak. Maybe I'd ride it out after a while. But like, if I just do mainly veggies, if vegetables are 60% of what I eat, that's what I usually shoot for. And I've actually been succeeding in that, which is kind of mind blowing to me because I would never eat vegetables.
Yep, I remember that.
I should put them in my pocket and throw them outside when I eat it down the table. Yeah, but like, dude, I've been eating 60% veggies, and then I'll just put on like it's either rice or potatoes, sweet potato, some sort of other natural food, and then fruits, and then I just like sprinkle like half of the meat. Whenever I make meat, I always just like make too much of it, so I always make it and then go, all right, I'll take half of this, and I put the other half and save it for later. Dude, I'm telling you, man, that's been the thing that works best for me, and I've tried a ton of different diets. I think everyone should try, whatever honestly works for you, and if you're functioning on all levels, fine. But it's like, for me, it's like primarily vegetables, and I've heard this stuff before. All vegetables, oxalates in vegetables mess with calcium absorption and all this stuff, and it's like,
dude,
okay, yeah, maybe, I don't know, but it's like, are you getting dizzy when you eat them? Like, eat a ton of vegetables for a month, and I guarantee you won't pass out.
Yeah, exactly. The last carnivore guy that I heard talking about just eating purely meat. And again, I'm not saying meat's bad. Like, I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying if you're not operating by what Matt's talking about, make sure your diet's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% of your meals. I would say strongly reconsider your beliefs on diets, because the last guy that I was listening to who said he was on the carnivore diet, he's taking a boatload of pills to get in his micronutrients. It's like, do you think that's what your ancestors did? A million years ago, that they took vitamin D pills and vitamin B and vitamin C? Like, no, they didn't. They did not do that. So how can we make a logical argument that that's what you should be doing? And if you want to do it, great. But if you're on a platform telling people to do that, in my opinion, it's a disservice. It adds to the confusion for people who actually want to make their bodies healthier.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Again, it's like everyone can play with things. There are like food allergies and stuff. So if someone might be eating some sort of vegetable and that's messing with them, totally fine. Then you can do what's called I think it's not an elimination diet, do a rotation diet where it's like, here's this week you eat this food group, see how you feel, then try another, add them in. Then you can start to go, okay, when I eat this stuff, it messes me up. But it's like, that's kind of a small percentage. And, if that's something you can obviously look into. So yeah, I think it really is. I think it's the, like Wes is saying, it's like just, if you see something that's like, oh my God, vegetables are bad for me. If it seems hyped up and extreme, it's probably hyped up and extreme. It's like, just eat a little bit of this, eat a little bit of that. And just, first of all, try to avoid the shit and the junk. Number one.
That's the biggest thing. That's honestly the biggest thing.
Realize you go into 7-Eleven, you go into whatever convenience stores around you, 99.9% of that stuff you shouldn't be eating. It's kind of a bitter pill to swallow, but it's like, yeah, it just is what it is, man. Processed lunch meat, processed cheese, rolls, candy, soda, green tea that's supposed to be healthy that has like 9,000 grams of sugar. None of it's good for you.
Yeah, the sweetened green tea.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And that's really, it's like you can get a vegan and a carnivore person talking, and they're going to debate all the minutia, and then they both go their separate ways, and they eat complete junk food. Right, like that's really the culprit, right? The real culprit is not lean meat. It's not even a piece of steak. It's not broccoli or anything like that. It is, everybody likes to argue the minutia and like what the perfect scenario would be. And it's like when neither of them are doing the perfect scenario, they're far from it. They're going out and they're eating Doritos, right? Like that's the problem. Cut that shit out. I would also recommend very, very, very much so, remove all of the shit from your house. Every single piece of junk food, remove it from your house, and if you live with somebody, get them on board too. That alone, you'll probably knock off 5 pounds in a month easily.
Big time. Also, Ray's asking, are we trying to lose weight as quickly as possible?
That's kind of a loaded question, because you want to do it and maintain health, right? Like I could tell you guys right now easily how to lose 8 pounds in the next 5-6 days, probably even quicker than that, but it's not going to be healthy. I disagree with that type of mentality. Cut out the junk food, cut out the heavy salts, cut out the liquid calories, and that's where I would stay. And your body will naturally shed the weight. So that's what I would say to that. Do not try to be cute, any fancy gimmicks, because you might be able to do it. So for instance, like one thing you could do is cut your water. That's an easy way. Like it's a classic wrestling way, right? To drop weight. That is not healthy. Do not do that, because that is that's fool's gold. You'll be able to do that for a few days, but then eventually you're going to need water. So it all depends on what your real goal is. But my vote is every man on this team should be going for optimal health, not just trying to drop a few pounds in a few days.
Yeah, the real reward, the real winning, I think is like, like you were saying, like whether or not, again, obviously my team's going to win, but it's like not whether or not, whoever wins, it's like the fact that you kind of showed yourself you can lose a bunch of weight and kind of be healthy, I think is the real prize. The win is just kind of like a formality type thing, which, doesn't even matter.
So the scoring system, and I love it. I'm thinking this, weighing yourself every day and posting a picture of it. That's how you get a point. And then posting at least one healthy meal, posting at least one picture of a healthy meal that you ate for the day, you get another point. And then you get another point for working out for at least a half hour. Now, working out could be a walk around the block for a half hour. It could be walking up. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can do crazy stuff if you want to. Like I'm sure ASB will be hanging from like the Empire State Building, doing like some sort of like pull-ups or some shit, right? Like we can definitely do that. Like, but those are the 3-point systems, and then you will get a point for every pound that you lose. Matt, how do you feel about that?
I like that. I think that's perfect. I think it's simple. It's perfect. The weighing yourself is a big thing. Obviously, the exercise is another thing. And yeah, I think the pound you lose is a point. I think that makes everything very fair. Like it takes effort into consideration, and also, that way it doesn't, like you were saying, and I don't think people would, but like you have to you get points from actually doing the stuff you're supposed to do. And the one picture of food a day I think is great because I know when I take pictures of everything I eat, I start to go crazy because I have like 45 pictures of rice and vegetables and chicken in my phone. I go back to find a picture and I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
But I think the one picture of something else just so reminds you, put you on track.
Yep.
And I'm gonna fire up the Apple Watch again, dude. I'm gonna fire up the Apple Watch. I'm gonna start taking some walks, dude. I love doing that.
Walking is dramatically undervalued, man. Dramatically undervalued. Low impact, slow, consistent burn over time, and you can do it you can do it for hours every single day if you wanted to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And Ray wanted me to remind everybody that we do a Rhomas men's workout every morning at 6:30 in the morning. So if you guys want to join in on that, like, feel free. Let me know. I can put the link to the Zoom meeting. It's every morning, 6:30 Pacific time, so 9:30 Eastern time.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, look, man, I mean, I think we should save everything for Friday, let you get to your test.
Awesome, brother. I'm looking forward to competing with you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man.
Dude, I've been, just as a quick note, I've been such a bad boy over the last 4 weeks.
You built yourself a little cushion.
Oof, dude. Yeah. Yeah, so my belly is, 6-pack is gone, everything, so I need to get it back.
Nice.
Cool. All right, dudes.
All right, brother.
Talk to you soon.
Later on. The poll. We're not putting up the poll until Friday. Get out of here.
Yeah, Friday.
Later.